नमो नमस्ते गुरवे महात्मने विमुक्तसंगाय सदुत्तमाय नित्याद्वयानन्दरसस्वरूपिणे भूम्नि सदा पारदयाम्बुधाम्नि नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य स्वराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषः भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते हरि ओम तत्सत् जय गुरु। The title this time is a little strange, I believe, to all of you also. Ma vidviṣāvahai. But I was thinking what to speak which will be of some use to you. So this thought came to me that this statement, it is from Upanishadic Shanti Mantras, particularly it is in Katha Upanishad and in our other Upanishads also this statement comes. It's an extremely rare statement and at the same time it is extremely important also. It is important to all, to the society, to the individuals, and particularly it is important to the ashramites who have been living in the company of the Guru. It is important for all the disciples and devotees also, but they generally do not come to know of it because they listen to the Guru and go away, or take the mantra and go away. Maybe they don't encounter the meaning of this statement, how pregnant this statement is and what is the deep meaning in it. But those who choose to be in the Guru Sannidhi, to stay in presence of a Guru, and of a living Guru particularly, they have to encounter this statement, the truth of this statement at every step. And this governs the life of a seeker in Guru Sannidhi, how much one will flourish and one will be successful in remaining in the Guru Sannidhi till he becomes a full blossom flower. That blossoming is very much guided by this statement. So I thought that as such we have the language problem, we are still not able to speak well in Malayalam, but at least try to speak something which will be of special interest. Perhaps, I don't know, that finally you have to say whether it has been of any use or not. The statement comes in the Shanti Mantra as Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviriyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidviṣāvahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Would you like to chant following me? But you have to chant in the same tune as I am doing. I am doing in a little unusual tune. It is not the Vedic tune. We generally chant these mantras Bhavanuyayi tune. Bhavanuyayi means according to the bhava of each statement, we have tuned it ourselves and we chanted that. It is perhaps in a way flouting the rigid Vedic rules, but at the same time, we have the permission to do it also. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviriyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidviṣāvahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, the straightaway meaning of this is Sahanau Avatu. That means, may we too be protected. Sahanau Bhunaktu. May we too be nourished. Sahaviriyam Karavavahai. May whatever we do with courage, strength, Viryam, with Virya. Tejasvinau adhitamastu. Whatever we are studying, may all that knowledge and the study become tejasvi, brilliant, powerful. Ma vidviṣāvahai. May there be no intolerance or hatred between us. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is the Shanti Mantra. Now each word has much deeper meaning, and we can go to any level of depth as we want till we reach the truth. Sahana, first of all, this is used that may we too, may we too. The meaning is the teacher and the student. Generally, these Shanti mantras are chanted in the beginning of studies. Whenever we have a class or a satsang or so, in the beginning we chant it. And we pray that may we too be protected. That means, two means the teacher and the student. Now, protection here means not just bodily protection. It is a final protection. Certainly bodily part is included there, so that the Brahma Vidya, which we are trying to communicate, it's a communication between the teacher and the student. If that communication is proper, which depends on both the teacher and the student, if the communication is proper, then the living knowledge from the teacher will pass on to the student. Then the student who lives the knowledge, he will be able to pass on to the next generation. That is how the knowledge percolates through the society. It is amazing to think, if we can really imagine, that how many thousands of years have passed, we cannot say. It is prehistoric. It can be 5,000, 10,000, not 5,000, at least 10,000 or 20,000 or even more, because it is prehistoric. We cannot date it. From that time onwards, how this knowledge is still living in the society amongst the individuals, those who want it, those who pursue it, it still blazes forth from them, it still enlightens them, and like a flame, it goes on lighting the flames in the next generation, next to next generation, like that. How this miracle did happen, we really do not know. There lies the greatness of this Brahma Vidya. Here, right in the beginning, I would like to point out that why this may we too be protected. You will find in the Upanishads and Vedas, always the prayer is for everybody, like Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, Sarve santu niramayaha. Everywhere we are praying for the entire society, not only for the Bharatiyas, but entire globe, everywhere, for the entire nature. The prayers are always for everybody, everywhere. Now, why in these Shanti mantras, not only in this mantra, but the other Shanti mantras also, this repeatedly comes that Avatu Mam, Avatu Bhaktaram, and not only that, it repeats Avatu Bhaktaram in the same mantra repeats, which means its importance is great. So why is it that it is only for the student and the teacher, and these prayers are not for all? Why only these two are coming? If we look into it, we will find there lies the importance of Brahma Vidya. These prayers are chanted before the communication of Brahma Vidya from the teacher to the student. So, how best can the communication take place? That is the point there. And why the two have to be nourished, protected, etc. Because if this teacher to student communication is stopped, then the society will lose the Brahma Vidya. Mark my point. It is the prayer is for the entire society. And the rishis understood that this society, the welfare of the society depends on Brahma Vidya. You can easily understand nowhere in the globe a civilization has lived for such a long period as it is here. The Indian civilization has lived on this earth for unknown period of time. And that too, the treasured, this literature is living from that unknown period of time, still available to us in the same form. It is amazing, because even the very good poems also, within 300, 400 years, they vanish from the society. Nobody honors them anymore, or maximum 500 to 600 years. But how is this eternal culture, this spiritual culture of the eternal truth, it is still living in the society? It is only because of this transmission of the Brahma Vidya through the Guru Shishya Parampara. We must appreciate this, understand this, and try to incorporate in our life. Because this Vidya is not a bookish knowledge, that I read the Vedas, I read the Upanishads, and the Vidya comes to us. No. It is a knowledge which has to be lived. It is called Jnanagni. It is a fire, knowledge fire it is called. As with a picture of fire, you cannot do anything. You cannot cook your food. You cannot burn anything. You cannot get the warmth from a picture of fire. It has to be a blazing fire. It has to be a living fire. Like this knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, Brahma Vidya, unless it is lived, it will not have its warmth. It will not burn off the dross of the worldliness. The purpose of Brahma Vidya to burn off the dross of worldliness from our mind, from our intelligence, and make us pure, make us like the fire. It will not be able to do its purpose, serve its purpose, unless it is a living fire. The jnana is lived. So, this knowledge to become a living knowledge, it has to be transmitted from a guru who is realized, who is living the knowledge, to a shishya who is ready to pursue the path to become, again, like the guru, a flame where he will live the knowledge. Now this Sahanau avatu, the may we too be protected. It is for the benefit of the whole universe. Because if Brahma Vidya is protected, then the society also will be protected. Because if the society is left to itself, we have so much of clashing forces, because all of us are selfish, we are greedy, we have so many desires. So always there will be interpersonal clash, inter-civilizational clash, which will destroy the civilization. So there is an inherent force, there are inherent forces in the civilization to dissipate, to degenerate, to destroy the society. The destructive forces are plenty in our society. So there should be always a force working to bring back the society on the auspicious track, which is called Loka Sangraha in Sanskrit. The purpose of Brahma Vidya is to bring back the society and keep the society on the auspicious track. So it is for the society also. That is how in India this civilization has lived for such a long time. We may not understand easily that, but when we look into it, we will find that everything, all the religious ceremonies, everything called spirituality or religion in our country, it is developed on the central fulcrum of this eternal truth. That is why it is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means eternal. It is Sanatana in two ways. The Dharma is eternal, there won't be any change, as we find that whatever was there 10,000, 20,000 years ago, we are still living the same knowledge. It will never change. Not only that, if we pursue that dharma, then we will realize our immortal identity, our eternal identity. So both way it is Sanatana. It is Sanatana because the dharma is eternal, and it is Sanatana because it makes the practitioner also eternal, Shashvata. That is why it is called Sanatana Dharma. Sahanau avatu, may we too be protected, so that this knowledge communication gets fructified in us, and the students can also blossom like the Guru with the full living knowledge. Sahanau bhunaktu, may we all be well nourished. Well nourished, nourishment is necessary for the body, but in spiritual studies we mean something more than that. As for the body, the good food is the nourishment which will be making the body pure, strong, disease-free. Like that, what is the food for our mind? What is the food for our intelligence? The nourishment comes from good thoughts, lofty ideals. For the mind, the nourishment comes from expansive thoughts, udara chinta, from various sources, and particularly from this Brahma Vidya. It makes our mind, makes our emotional aspect of our being vast. So the real nourishment comes from the thoughts which are embedded in the Shastras, which are always taking our mind towards infinitude. Similarly, for the intelligence also, that real nourishment comes from Viveka buddhi. Viveka buddhi means which always connects to our auspicious innermost soul, innermost identity, our real identity. So Viveka buddhi is the real nourishment for the buddhi. So when we say Sahano Bhunaktu, it means may we be nourished with pure bodily, with the material food which will make our body strong and pure, the thoughts and ideals which will make our mind strong and vast and lofty, and also the Viveka buddhi which is more and more cultured through the studies of the Shastras, which will make our intelligence pure and clearer. This is the bhunaktu, this is the nourishment they are talking about. Saha viriyam karavavahai. This virya word, to understand it in depth, we have to go to the Upanishads, because they are all from the Upanishads. When you look into Kena Upanishad, you find that Atmana vindate viriyam, vidyaya vindate amritam. The shloka is Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate, Atmana vindate viriyam, vidyaya vindate amritam. Atmana vindate viriyam. So to have the real courage, we have to get connected to our real soul, our inmost being, which we are, really are. It is not a courage coming from wealth, external wealth, or from manpower, external manpower, or from fame, or anything outside. The real courage comes from within when we get connected to our real soul. That is from where the Viveka buddhi also comes. So, saha viryam karavavahi means whatever we are doing, let us not do it in a stealthy manner, hiding manner, in a kripana, in a miserly manner. Let us get connected to our real being, our inmost identity, and do it with the strength from there, received from the inmost part of our being. Tejasvinau adhitamastu. That is, whatever we are studying, let it become brilliant. It will become brilliant only by our living the knowledge. Whatever we are studying, unless we live it, it will not become brilliant. It will not have its power to burn the dross of the worldliness we have. The world will remain as it is. By knowledge, the world will not change. But the worldliness, which is spoiling our mind, which is always petrifying our mind, always we are thinking of so many likes and dislikes, greed, desireful things. I don't like this person, I don't like that person, this behavior, that we are constantly, a fight is going on in our mind. That is making us small, making us powerless. As we become more and more free of the raga dvesha, that is clinging to what I like and hating what I dislike, as our mind becomes more and more free of raga dvesha, the mind becomes clearer and the knowledge becomes brilliant. Whatever we study, that becomes a living knowledge, like a blazing fire. Tejasvinau adhitamastu ma vidviṣāvahai. May there not be any intolerance between us. Naturally, the question, this statement, ma vidviṣāvahai, is specific to this Shanti Mantra. I have not found it appear anywhere else, except in various other forms, which I would like to point out today. In Bhagavad Gita, as well as Bhagavatam, any scripture, it is very much pointed, but not in this form, where we are praying that the Guru and the Shishya, may there not be any intolerance or hatred between the two of us. These prayers are generally, we call them self-addressed prayers. Self-addressed prayers means it is not praying to some external, some power that, oh Lord, you give me this, you give me that. It is not like that. These prayers are actually addressed to ourselves when we say that may whatever we study becomes tejasvi. This prayer is actually addressed to us. We have to make it tejasvi by living the knowledge. So it all depends on our own effort, our own sadhana to bring forth the effect of it. So anything in the Vedas, actually we often call the Vedas as apaurushaya. That apaurushaya does not mean that it has fallen from the sky, because the language is Sanskrit, which is a human language. But there is a deep meaning in this apaurushaya. You understand, often we have the idea that Vedas have come down from we don't know from where, from the sky. It is not that. But yes, it is apaurushaya, because it is not a composition, it is a revelation. When the rishi, our seers are called rishi, those who saw the Veda mantras and reveal it, they are called rishis. The mind of the rishi goes beyond the raga dvesha and the smallness of the identity, the egoistic I, when it dissolves and he identifies himself with the universal identity, universal I. His mind becomes free of all kinds of smallness we suffer from. Particularly, in a nutshell, it is raga dvesha. Raga, for clinging to what I like, and hating what I dislike. So the mind becomes free of that. Such a mind which is in tune with that real identity, the infinite identity, that to that mind the truth gets revealed, and he only expresses it in human language. In Sanskrit it has been expressed. That is why Sanskrit has got such great power in it. It's a direct revelation of the truth. The truth which is there in nature, which is the fundamental harmony of nature, it is expressed without any tarnishing of the worldliness. It is directly expressed through a mind which is in tune with the truth. That is why it is called apaurusha. That means it is not putrefied or it is not modified by the small egoistic identity of human beings. It is not composed. It's a direct revelation of the truth by the seers. So, they get connected to this ultimate truth, which is nature's fundamental harmony. It is called svabhavika, this fundamental harmony. And whatever we may do in the name of spirituality, the ultimate purpose of that is to free us all the egoistic hindrances, egoistic constrictions, and be in tune with this fundamental harmony of nature, this fundamental law of nature, which is the swabhavika, the natural chandas or rhythm of nature. In Shvetashvatara Upanishad, they sing, "Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, na tat samascha drishyate, parasyar shaktir vividhaiva shruyate, svabhaviki jnana balakriyacha." He says that this truth, there is nothing equal to it, there is nothing beyond it. It does not depend on anything at all. Everything else depends on it. Asya parashaktir vividhaiva shruyate svabhaviki jnana balakriyacha. By its own supreme power, it manifests as the multifarious universe. How? Swabhaviki jnana balakriyacha. This is a natural projection of the universe. From the jnana, from the knowledge, I mind you, this is not a knowledge we gain from somewhere else. It is not the dual knowledge. Knowledge is our own identity. It is the soul. It is the consciousness. That is the non-dual knowledge. It is a manifestation of that non-dual knowledge, the consciousness, by its own power, jnana balakriya, that strength, that power of that knowledge, it manifests as the entire activities of the universe. Can you imagine the activities going on in the whole universe? Galaxies are getting born, galaxies are dying, the sun is running around something, the earth is running around the sun, the moon is running around the earth. We cannot even imagine even a small percentage of what kind of activities are going on in this universe. In the large scale, in the small scale also. The leaves we see, the next morning a few leaves have grown from there. How many cells have got born? In our own body, how many cells are dying every day and how many cells are getting born every day? The flower blossoms. Everywhere, so much of activity, but there is no desire at all. They don't need any motivation from the desire because they are natural. They are the natural projection of this ultimate truth, the knowledge, the consciousness, The whole universe manifests from the svabhaviki balakriya. Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate na tatsamascha drishyate parasyar shaktir vividhaiva shruyate svabhaviki jnana balakriya cha esha devo vishvakarma mahatma sada jananam hridaye sannivishtaha hridamanisha manasa viklipto esha devo vishvakarma mahatma sada jananam hridaye sannivishtaha hridamanisha manasa viklipto ya etat viduramritaste bhavanti ya etat vidu amritaste bhavanti ya etat vidu amritaste bhavanti. He says that this is the great truth which is projecting as the whole universe, this amazing activities of the universe. But hold, we don't have to run anywhere to the universe at all to know it. It is right in the inmost part of our being. It is the same I which we are always using. We cannot have a dream even without that I. Without that I, there cannot be any communication we are making. But sadly, we don't know its real dimension. He says, Sada jananam hridaye sannivishtaha, samyak nivishtaha, Sada jananam hridaye. It is right in our heart, always there. We cannot miss it because it is the I in us that is there. And that is the Vishwakarma. So, how do we know that it is so? He says, Hrida manisha manasa avikliptaha ya etad viduhu amritaste bhavanti. Hrida means the emotional part of the being. Abhikliptaha is a very special word. It means purification, integration, maturation, basically purification. It is right there in our heart, but we are missing it. Why? Because of our own smallness created in our mind and intelligence, because of our desires, because of our ragadvesha. We have segregated ourselves from this real identity, and that is why we are missing it. How to get back to it? By the purification, avikliptaha, purification of the hrid, that is the heart, the emotional aspect of our being. Manisha means manit, the intelligential aspect of our being, and manasa, the mental aspect of our being. These are the three internal aspects we have in our being. By the purificatory process, by the purification of these three aspects of our being, by the wholesome purification of our being, we come to know ya etad viduhu amritaste bhavanti. They become immortal. So this is what the Upanishads declared, that this is the svabhavika chanda. This is the fundamental rhythm which all of us can attain, all of us can tune ourselves to that rhythm. Then we will be free of all the Tirtha we suffer from. This Shanti, Shanti, Shanti is Adi Daivika Shanti, Adi Bhautika Shanti and Adhyatmika Shanti. Adi Daivika means we are not control over it from nature. Adi Bhautika means human beings as well as the animals from where we are having the tapas. And the last one is most important, Adhyatmika, which entirely depends on us. We have polluted our body, mind, personality. That has to be purified. So, through the removal of these, we can get back to this rhythm where we will be sahaja, we will become sahaja, we will be moving in tune with the infinite, in tune with this svabhaviki palakriya. So our efforts will no more be there. All the efforts throughout the day we are putting effort. In for meditation also, we are always be effortful. Nobody can meditate with effort. That is not a meditation at all. But when we are asked to meditate, we try to put effort there also. The first point of meditation is to become effortless. But we are so used to putting effort in everything that in meditating also we wrongly put effort and become unsuccessful. So the life will become effortless and moving in tune with the svabhavika rhythm, the natural tune of the universe, the natural tune of truth, of Lord, whatever you may say. Now the whole purpose of Brahma Vidya, and particularly the Guru, is to bring us back in tune with this svabhavika, this natural harmony, with this natural rhythm. So in the process, what is the greatest hindrance? In nutshell, it is nothing other than the small ego, the small I we have created, the small I-ness in us, which is segregated from all others, which is fragmented. I believe that this is what I am and all others are different, and we run after what we prefer, run away from what we dislike, we hate others. Basically, it is the ego which has its own, it is lieutenants, other like moha, matsarya, lobha. All these things are there, which are part of the egos, which are creating this constriction. Basically, this ego which is constricting our mind and intelligence and not allowing us to have even a glimpse of this natural rhythm, this universal rhythm. So the Guru's duty, the Guru's purpose and the purpose of Brahma Vidya, the Guru communicates Brahma Vidya, the purpose is to get rid of this smallness and make us in tune with this svabhavika chanda, this natural rhythm. And there comes all the problems. That is why it is called, they have stated, ma vidviṣāvahai. Why? Because to eliminate this ego means it is a transformation. And we have been holding on to this ego with lot of care, effort and whatnot. We have created our own image. That I am this, I am that. We have so much of ego about it. Whatever I have created about my image. So when we become a real seeker, all those images have to be completely shattered. And the Guru's duty is to shatter that. Who will like it? Seldom, rarely anywhere we will find a disciple who would like to get rid of this by completely opening himself to the treatment of the Guru. The moment some correction is given, we revolt. We always revolt. We think that the Guru does not like me, but the other disciples he likes. Or he is having preferential and prejudicial treatment. Because he is telling me something wrong, the disciple immediately feels that I have not done this. Why is he thinking that I am so shallow, I am so narrow-minded? It is Guru's that. So the defect is in the Guru. He doesn't understand that the Guru doesn't have anything to gain by pointing out a defect. An ordinary devotee visiting him or talking to him, the Guru will never point out any defect suddenly. Unless the person takes refuge in him and there is a trust in the Guru that I allow myself to be treated by you I have taken refuge in you. You do whatever is needed to take me to that auspicious goal. Until that faith is there, that dependence is there, that refuge is there, Guru will not administer any treatment at all. He will not point out the defects at all. So only when he feels a little confidence that here is somebody whom I can guide to become, to bring him in harmony with this ultimate rhythm, the fundamental rhythm of nature, which can only be attained by removing, by shattering this formed artificial ego. He tries to point out the defects, but seldom the shishya is able to accept it, and he develops revolt. You know the story of Vivekachudamani, which is a very well-known story. It is not about a spiritual guru, of course, but those days our teachers were equally spiritual also. So Vivekachudamani was a brilliant student, and they were staying in the Gurukula. That is why our learning was not this kind of a school as we see now, where only the artificial learning takes place. The characteral learning does not take place. For characteral learning, we had the model learning in our country. We have completely abandoned it. The Gurukula learning was the proper learning where the Shishya's personality also would grow in the company of the Guru. So, the teacher used to always correct this Vivekachudamani, gives admonish Vivekachudamani in many things. So much so that Vivekachudamani used to get very agitated that why is he always behind me? Everything, so many other disciples are there, so many other students are there. I am one of the best students. Why is he always after me, always finding fault with me? Something is definitely wrong with the Guru. This is the vidviṣāvahai, that is vidviṣāvahai in the shishya. It went to such an extreme level that one day he thought of killing the Guru. He took a huge stone, he was a very intelligent boy, arranged a rope and all, and kept the stone on the tiled roof or the thatched roof of the cottage. Just underneath the Guru's cot was there where he will sleep. So if he drops the stone from there in the night, the Guru will be killed by the huge stone. That arrangement he made, and he was sitting on the roof. That day, before he could operate his machine, he heard the conversation between the Guru and the Guru Patni, the Guru's wife. The Guru's wife is telling the Guru that, I don't understand. I find this Vivekachudamani to be the best student amongst all the students in your class. Even in helping in the domestic chores also, he is so always attentive. Everything he does so well. But why is it that you are always scolding him, always admonishing him? I am not able to understand. Then the Guru says that, oh, you don't know. I know very well the talent of Vivekachudamani, much better than what you know. I know very well that one day he will become a great scholar and successful person also. But you know, he is so talented, especially in comparison to others, that if he is not bridled, he is not checked, very soon he will lose his self-seatedness, he will get spoiled, and all his talents will be misdirected, he will get spoiled. So he has to be kept under very stern bridle, stern correction. That is why, to save him, I always criticize him, I always admonish him. Vivekachudamani listened to this from the top of the thatched house. And he understood his fault. Now, this Vivekachudamani was really great. So he brought down his stone, he kept quiet, and the next morning, after bath, the first thing he did, prostrated before the Guru and asked him that I have a question. The teacher said, what question do you have? He said that I would like to know if a student wants to kill his teacher, he might not have killed, but he wanted to kill. What is the atonement for that? What is the punishment for him? What is the atonement for that? Prayaschitta for that. The Guru said, why are you asking all these things? These are not important. Why should you ask about atonement and all these things? They are not at all to be known by anybody. It's not necessary. You go and study it. He would not leave. He said that I want the reply. The reason he did not say. Then finally the Guru told him that the atonement is tushagni mrityu. That means you put husk, dig a pit and fill it with husk, and finally you remain neck deep in the husk, and the fire is set from the lowermost point. Fire rises slowly, and when it comes here, the person dies. So it is a very slow process of death. It may take more than a day or so also in that process. Viveka immediately, he was a sincere boy. So he listened to it and he decided that yes, I have to do this. The Guru said that why? He told him what he did. He said, no, that is because I was always scolding you. You might have thought like this. No, you are a great person. I will bring you up properly. It is only for that. You should not do such a thing at all. The world will lose a person like you. He was decided. And he arranged for all that, the Tushagni, and the fire was set, and he was getting slowly to the point of death. In the process, he recited a famous poem which he could not complete. The last line, before he could utter the last line, the fire had come here and his voice got choked. It is said that Kalidasa wanted to add that line in completion of that. But there was a voice and from the sky, there was a voice asking Kalidasa that don't try to do that. Don't try to put, I have forgotten, a stone into a mala of pearl or something like that. I have forgotten. That poem is there, the name also I have forgotten. So this might be an extreme example, but this is what can happen also. That the mind, we have to think, in our case what happens? Whenever the Guru says something, we are immediately to take a defense. Suppose, I have seen in many cases, even about family matters, if the Guru says something, it's not somebody living in Guru Sannidhi. Just a devotee also, the Guru felt like advising something, where it goes against their desires or so. They will say that these are all family matters. Swamiji is a sannyasin. What will he know about the family matters? He doesn't know anything, he is saying like that. So they will not follow it. They will find fault in the Guru's word. This is what is called asuya. In Bhagavad Gita, this asuya, in Bhagavatam also, this asuya word is used repeatedly. Why? It is meaning the same thing. Asuya means finding fault in others' qualities. Paragune doshavishkaranam. Paragune doshavishkaranam. That means in others' qualities, finding fault. Now this is what makes us small. Whenever somebody has done something good and great, and maybe even the Guru says that he has done this, the others will say, oh, you don't know, he is like this also. Finding a fault in that, you have seen only the plus side, there is a minus side of it also. So they always find fault in others. Why do we find fault in others? You look into your mind throughout the day, how many times we are thinking of good qualities of others and thinking of the wrongs done by the others. Let us have an examination within our mind. Throughout the day, how many times we have been thinking that he did this, she did this, or something wrong, something blaming, something condemning. And how many times we are thinking in terms of, oh, he did so great, he is very good, he has this great quality, he is so pure, so good. Let us find out. We are unnecessarily making our mind small. Is it not so? Not only that, by blaming others, Do we like that condition of the mind? Or say when we love others or we are appreciating some qualities of the others, let us look into our own mind, the mindset in us, when it is praising others or appreciating others' qualities, thinking in terms of loving and appreciating others. Do we not feel a much more pleasant mind at that time rather than when we are blaming somebody, finding fault about somebody, condemning somebody? Is it not so? Do we want such a mind which is stressful, which is blaming others? We don't want stress. Nobody will say that I like to have stress. But knowing that also we will not be able to. It has become so much of a habit that we will go on making our mind stressful. This how to release stress and all, the management people will say many things. They themselves will be remaining stressful. As long as the mind is thinking in a small manner, this stress will not go. Never it can go. Whatever lecture we may give, whatever advice and tips, that management courses, they will give various tips to how to get free of the stress. That will be only temporary. Some moment you take deep breath and utter some mantra and it is gone. Again it will catch hold of you. How are you going to get released from the stress you are suffering from? Until the mind becomes pure, the stress will not go. The mind has to be purified. The mind has to become free and vast and natural. Then only the stress can go. So this asuya is a point which Bhagavad Gita points out again and again wherever it has discussed that this knowledge has to be given to whom and cannot be given to whom. I will read out. It's in the 3rd chapter, first it appears. Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shraddhavanto nasuyanto muchyante tepi karmabhihi. In 39th or 31st verse of 3rd chapter, he says that a person can get relieved of the bondage. What is the person? Shraddhavantaha, anasuyantaha. Asuya and anasuya. Anasuya means who does not have asuya. This asuya means the tendency to find fault, finding dosha in paraguna. In the case of guru-shishya relationship, it is finding dosha in guru's words. That is, whenever the guru is advising something, not accepting that, finding some fault in guru's advice, in guru's words. So here Krishna is advising, saying that it cannot be given to some people who are finding dosha in my words, because by giving them you won't gain anything. There won't be any benefit. And it comes along with shraddhavantaha. Shraddha, what is that? Shastrasya guruvakyasya satya buddhi avadharanam. That is, shraddha in spirituality is the shastra, whatever the scriptures say and whatever the guru says or the gurus say, having the full value of it, having supreme faith in the Guru Vakya as well as the Shastra Vakya. That is called Shraddha. Actually, the Shraddha term means what we value most. Whatever we value. There is a sloka in Bhagavad Gita, Shraddha mayoyam purushaha yo yat shraddha saeva saha. Whatever we have Shraddha for, we become that. A man is an embodiment of his Shraddha. Suppose we value money, then throughout the day will we not think of money and we will be attentive towards gaining more money, keeping more money. Our mind will be fully full, it will be full of the thoughts of money. So we become money by that. Suppose it is fame we value most, then throughout the day we will think of fame or appreciation or whatever. Whatever we are valuing most in life, our mind will be full of those thoughts. So we will become embodiment of that. Shraddha mayoyam purusha yo yat shraddha saeva saha. So anything we value most. Now when we take to spirituality, the shraddha becomes how we value the spiritual goal. What is the spiritual goal? To get back to our real identity, which is universal. That I am not the puny human being limited by the body-mind complex, but I am the universal I, the same as the universal consciousness or Brahman. So this ultimate aim of spirituality, when we give it the supreme value, then our mind will be constantly thinking of it. That is the Shraddha. That Guru Vakya and Shastra Vakya is Shraddha towards that, means we will value it most. Otherwise we will not value. Suppose you may not be spiritual, but you call Lord the Supreme. If you call Lord Supreme, do you give Lord the Supreme position? Or he comes at the end? Generally, Lord is given the last position. Only when we are in trouble we call Lord. Otherwise we are happy with our life. So we don't give the supreme position. So it is only just a word. We call him supreme. That's all. But he will really become supreme when we give him the supreme value. That he, in my mind, he attains the supreme value. Then only he will become supreme. So this Shraddha and Anasuya, always you will find in Bhagavad Gita, they go together. A person having Shraddha in spirituality means he gives supreme value to the words of Guru and the words of the Shastras. And such a person will not have Asuya. Because Asuya means a constricted personality, always supporting his ego, always defending his ego, always doing in a selfish manner, thinking in a selfish manner, egoistic manner. Similarly, it comes in many other cases also. Say in 18th chapter, towards the end, idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana. Don't give it to a person who is not a devotee and who does not have the austere orientation, who does not do tapasya. Because just a playful way of having this spirituality is far off. Nacha shushrusave vachyam, nacha mam yo abhyasuyati. See, again it is abhyasuyati, means those who have asuya towards me, Krishna is saying. That means whatever words are spoken of in Bhagavad Gita or Krishna is speaking, if they find fault in, no, this is only exaggeration, this is not so, it is said like that only, it is not to be done, then that is asuya. We are not giving the value to the words of the scripture. Then again in 1871, towards the end, Shraddhavan anasuyascha shinuyadapi yo naraha sopi muktaha shubhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. See again, Shraddhavan anasuyascha. This Bhagavad Gita can be given to a person who is having Shraddha and who is anasuya. Similarly, in Bhagavatam also, so many places it is there. Shraddha-dhanaya bhaktaya vinitaya anasuyave. See, again Shraddha and Asuya is coming together. This I wanted to point out. This, to me also, it was quite surprising the way it is coming in the different scriptures. Because Shraddha means Shastra and Guru. That means the ultimate aim of life, the goal of spirituality. You are giving maximum value to this. If you give value to it, naturally you are trying to reach your real identity, which is universal. So any asuya means what? Means you are a constricted self, you are a constricted identity. You are reinforcing your constricted identity. So there is no question of expansion of that identity. Again in Bhagavatam, tavat paricharet bhaktaha shraddhavan anasuyakaha. Tavat paricharet bhaktaha shraddhavan anasuyakaha yavat brahma vijaniyat mameva guru madritaha. He says, yavat brahma vijaniyat mameva guru madritaha tavat paricharet bhaktaha shraddhavan anasuyakaha. That considering me, considering the Guru as me, that means whatever we think about the Lord, Bhagavan, considering the Guru as the Bhagavan, they should do paricharya for the Guru. With what? Shraddha and Anasuya. That means giving the Guru Vakya, Guru the supreme value, and not finding fault with whatever he does. It is very common in the Guru Sannidhi that people will always the disciples create differential feeling that I am only in the lower level and others are in the upper level. They are serving closely Swamiji. Somebody is picked up, he has arrived only now. Very recently he has arrived and he is cooking for Swamiji. I am not allowed for cooking. Not cooking everywhere, even in helping also. Why he is only, or she alone is helping and we are not allowed there or we are not taken. That means the Guru is partial and he is doing according to his own preference and prejudice. Because our mind is always haunted by preference and prejudice, we impose that on the Guru. We are having a mind which is full of ragadvesha, full of ahankara. So it is haunted by preference and prejudice, ragadvesha. So we think that the Guru's mind is also full of preference and prejudice. So his natural way, that svabhavika jnana valakriya, that the natural rhythm, he does everything out of natural. It is not a decision making, oh this is there, that is there, let him do this now and then we will see this. It is not like that. He behaves naturally with the natural, in tune with the natural harmony. And in that, whatever is necessary that happens, nature also falls in to do that. So, but the people, the devotees and the disciples, they don't understand that. They think that the Guru's mind is also polluted by the ragadvesha which we are holding. They don't understand that their mind is polluted with the ragadvesha. They criticize the Guru that his mind is full of ragadvesha. That is why the Kathopanishad Shanti Mantra says, Ma vidviṣāvahai. Ma vidviṣāvahai. Let there not be any intolerance or hatred between us. Even the Guru may have some intolerance. Normally he should not have, but he may develop. Suppose the shishya is so asamartha, that means he is such a fool. The devotee is such a fool that the Guru may develop intolerance towards him. That possibility is there. So it is between us is spoken of. That is, the Guru may also develop sometimes some intolerance. They are saying, may there not be. Because if any such intolerance is there, this communication of Brahma Vidya will not take place properly. See, all these things become clear when we think that what does the Guru want? What will a Guru want? Even if one is not his disciple, somebody else's disciple, what will Guru want? Will he not want that everybody should become a knower like him? Tell me. By becoming a knower, a person feels that everybody is a knower. Actually, they don't know that they are this self, but they suffer out of their ignorance. So he wants everybody to shake off ignorance, to get rid of the ignorance and become identified with the real self. That is the only thing the Guru wants. He doesn't want any other thing. The Guru does not have any abhisandhi, any motivation other than this, any self-seeking, any other seeking for wealth or comfort or anything. He doesn't. He only wants the disciples and devotees, not only that, everybody to become enlightened, to become one like him. So where is the question of any intolerance other than any other such ragadvesha coming in him? Shankaracharya in Shatashloki, he has said, Drishtanto naiva drishtas tribhuvana jathare sadguror jnana dhatuhu sparshashchet tatra kalpyaha sanayati yadaho swarnatam ashmasaram nasparshatvam tathapi Shritacharana yuge sadguru sviya shishye sviyam samyam vidhatte bhavati nirupamastena balaukikopi. He says that in this Tribhuvana, in these three lokas, there is no example of a Sadguru, of a realized Guru. Why? He is saying that suppose you take the example of the touchstone, the parashamani, which by touching a steel will become, the loha will become gold, the iron will become gold. If you take that to be the example, that by the touch of the Guru, the shishya will become gold, he says, no, that is not a complete example. Because a Guru, a Shrita Charana Yuge Sadguruhu Sviya Shishye, a shishya who has taken refuge in his feet, a shishya, a devotee, who has taken refuge in his feet. That refuge is very important. Without that, nothing can happen. The whole Bhagavad Gita would not have happened if in the second chapter, 7th shloka, Arjuna had not made the confession. What is that? Karpanya dosho apahata svabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhitan me Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. See, he says, you have to give me, I am a seeker of shreyas, nishreyas. You have to give me the discipline, I am ready to follow the discipline. I am your shishya. This is the first time Arjuna says, I am your shishya. Shishya means who is ready to follow the discipline given by the Guru. Shadhimam, you give me your discipline. Tvam prapannam. Why should you give me? I have taken refuge in you. When the shishya takes refuge in the Guru, then the Guru cannot refuse him. He has to give him whatever will fulfill the shishya. So he says that a shishya who has taken ashraya in the Guru's feet, he makes him one like him. The touchstone does not make the iron a touchstone. The parashmani does not make the iron a parashamani. It makes the iron a gold only. But here the Guru makes the disciple another Guru, like him. So there is no example anywhere equal to that. Bhavati nirupamaha tena va alaukikopi. This is what is the alaukika here. And nirupamaha, there is no upama, there is no example for this. The time is going, I will just finish it. I wanted to tell quite a few stories, but there is no time. One is the Guru Nanaka story, which is very, very well known, of course, that Lahina and Guru Nanak. You may not know the Sikh Sampradaya. They are very Guru-oriented. Everything is Guru-oriented. There are very good stories available in the Sikh scriptures, you will find. So one day Guru Nanak was going into the forest and with the disciples, and suddenly they found a dead body covered with a cloth. It was already foul smelling body covered with the cloth, completely covered, so they could understand it's a dead body. Then suddenly Nanak stopped there and said that if there is amongst you, all the disciples who were there, amongst you anybody who claims to be my disciple, I would ask him to eat this dead body. Is anybody ready to do it? So they looked at each other, nobody was ready to do it. He again said that you are all Sikh. In the Sikh Sampradaya, unless you are following the words of the Guru, you don't deserve to be a Sikh. You are only increasing the crowd around the Guru. You are not disciples. But then he found one not so conspicuous person from the behind came forward and told him that, Master, I will do it. He said that do it. He came close to the dead body and then said that, please tell me from where shall I start my eating? The Guru said that you start it from the waist, from the stomach, middle region. middle portion of the body. He opened his mouth and was about to bite the dead body, so because of that he removed the cloth from the dead body so that he can bite the dead body. When he removed the cloth, everybody was surprised, astonished. They found that the whole area underneath the cloth, it is full of fruits and flowers, beautiful smelling flowers and very good fruits. So all of them immediately face, it is a chamatkara of the Guru, chamatkara of the Guru. You know that we don't understand the real qualities of the Guru. But when there is a chamatkara, we think that he is a great Guru. That is why many disciples are also there. Whenever they see a more powerful Guru, he goes to that. Because we don't want to do the sadhana. Whatever the Guru gives us sadhana, we will not do it. We want that something to happen from the Guru. Something should come down from the sky. That is why we always look for alaukika, special power, chamatkara of the Guru. So everybody felt that, oh, our Guru is so powerful that he has converted the dead body into fruits and beautiful smelling flowers. So they all were moved by that. But you know what Nanaka did? He hugged his disciple Lahina and said that, no, it is not my power at all. It is your Guru Bhakti. He said that it is your Guru Bhakti which has made this chamatkara. It is not my chamatkara at all. Chamatkara means it's not my alaukika power. It is not my extra sensory power. It is the Guru Bhakti which has made it. Like that, there are so many Upamanyu story. You know, in Mahabharata it is there very much. Famous story of Upamanyu, where finally he did not know any Shastras, but finally when the Ashwini Kumara, the heavenly doctors, they gave him a sweet to take so that he can get back his vision. He said that, no, I cannot take it without offering to my Guru. The Guru who had kept him unfed, who did not allow him to take food for a long time, he was taking from the froth thrown out by the calves, he was grazing. Even that Guru disallowed. So out of hunger he took that akanda leaf. And that akanda leaf worked, the poison worked in his body and he got blind and fell into the well. When the Guru came searching, looking for him, finally he discovered there. And he said that you call the Ashwini Kumara Dvaya. He said, I don't know the mantra to call. He said, you call, simply the mantras will come, because Vedas are natural, it is there. If our mind is tuned with the natural harmony of natural rhythm of the universe, of nature, then automatically the Vedas will be revealed by us. Whatever you say will become Vedas. Why are you worrying about it? He called, whatever mantras came out of his mouth, and immediately Ashwini Kumara Dvaya appeared there and offered him a sweet, which he refused to take. He said, I cannot take it without offering to my Guru. Because he did not say that Guru has kept me unfit for so many days, complaining about it, that he did not allow me even to take this, take that. Nothing like that. Can you imagine? Then the Guru said, Upamanyu says, Sarve cha te vedaha pratibhasyanti sarvani dharma shastrani cha. Let all Vedas become manifest in you and all the dharma shastras become manifest in you. By his Guru Bhakti, he got all that. People often say that, oh, ये लोग सब, आप लोग सब आश्रम में रहते हैं, कोई meditation भी नहीं करते हैं, पढ़ते भी नहीं हैं. Those who are staying in the ashram, they throughout the day they work. So people often feel that what are these people who are, they don't study, they don't do meditation. But actually in the service of the Guru, we don't need. But I am not talking about everybody. If you don't have the dhanyata that I am in the company of the Guru, then nothing will come out there. That it has to be a real service, freed of all asuya, freed of all sankirnata, freed of all constrictions, then only it will be. In Vivekachudamani, the Guru's state is discussed very well. I will conclude with that. Shrotriyo abrijino akamahato yo brahmavittamah brahmanyuparatas shanto nirindhanaivaanalah ahetukadaya sindhu bandhuranamatam satam. Shrotriyo avrajino akamahato yo brahmavittamah brahmanyuparatas shanto nirindhanaivaanalah ahetukadaya sindhu bandhuranamatam satam. Shanta mahanto nivasanti santo vasantavallokahitam charantah tirna swayam bhima bhavarnavam janan ahetunanyana pitarayantah. Shanta mahanto nivasanti santo vasantavallokahitam charantah tirna swayam bhima bhavarnavam janan ahetunanyana pitarayantah. Such a guru, when he sees a fit disciple, a deserving disciple, he says, Dhanyosi kritakrityosi pavitam te kulam tvaya yadavedya bandhamuktya brahmi bhavitumicchasi. He says that your whole lineage will become purified, that you have wanted to get rid of all the bondages by attaining Brahman. So the whole lineage of yours have become purified by this yearning itself. And the shishya, at the end, after receiving everything, he says, Yat kataksha shashi sandra chandrika patadhuta bhavatapajashramah praptavanahamachanda vaibhava anandamatmapadamakshayam kshanat. Yat kataksha shashi sandra chandrika patadhuta bhavatapajashramah praptavanahamachanda vaibhava anandamatmapadamakshayam kshanat. Dhanyoham kritakrityoham vimuktoham bhavagrahat nityanandaswarupoham purnoham tvadanugrahat. Dhanyoham kritakrityoham vimuktoham bhavagrahat nityanandaswarupoham purnoham tvadanugrahat.